Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining the video. You're probably here because obviously you want to learn a little bit more about Facebook ads. Maybe you're a beginner, maybe you run your own business at the moment, or maybe you're a marketer or whatever. Either way, if you're watching this video, it's because you're looking to get into Facebook advertising, or Instagram advertising. Meta advertising obviously is going to be the specifics on that. But today I'm just looking to give you a quick rundown on some basic information that'll help you get started, and hopefully you'll be able to implement this into your own business. So without further ado, how to get more customers through Facebook advertising obviously goes without saying. Just a quick introduction. Unlike posting organically, which means simply uploading content to the account for your business, reach and exposure to viewers and customers is guaranteed. So obviously these platforms have big audiences. Facebook and Instagram, I think they have like 2 billion daily active users combined or something like that. Pretty much you're paying them to show your footage to their users, so you're paying for exposure. Perhaps at the minute your business has a couple of hundred followers, maybe even a few thousand if you're a bit more of an established business, and you find that when you post, the same 5 to 10 people like the posts, 3 of them are family members, 2 are your friends, and the rest have already bought from you and won't help grow your customer base, and maybe your mom shares it to the same 5 friends that she has on the platform as well, all of which equals no sales. And I'm not saying that posting to your account is completely useless. Obviously, like some people will know, they have a couple of thousand followers, they have a couple of hundred followers, and generally speaking, this will help build your brand, at least to your existing customers, because they're going to be seeing your content on the regular. But if you're really looking to grow and reach new people, that is when advertising can come in. So obviously, like I say, there is no issue with posting organically. There's nothing wrong with the business. It's the reach of your content. You need to be able to show this to enough people and to the right people as well. By paying to advertise on the platform, you guarantee new eyes see your offer, and you can even target specific people also who are most likely to want to buy your stuff. If you're reading this and still don't think this will work, no offense intended. Perhaps there is an issue with your service/offer/pricing, because meeting demand with supply, generally speaking, will result in exchange of money for service. So pretty much what I mean by this is that, like I say, you guarantee new eyes see your offer, and you can target specific people as well. Let's say I sell water and I want to target, I don't know, bad example, I'll take that back. Let's say I sell running shoes and I want to target runners. Obviously, if I'm able to show my running shoes to runners, how will that not then generate sales? You know what I mean? Unless, of course, there was something with the shoe, there was something with the price. But at the same time, like I say, I don't expect there is an issue with your business if you have existing customers already. This is just about growing on what you already have, and expanding the customer base as well. Even better, if you do this the right way, you should be able to sell your product at a margin you're happy with. If you scale this, then theoretically you can make infinite sales. The reason I say this, like, obviously you're not going to be able to make infinite sales, but if, let's say you show it to 100 people, and out of 100 people, one person makes a purchase, if you show it to the entire audience on Facebook, then who's to say that that ratio isn't kept up? You know, I say infinite, it'll be more than you are able to handle. It's not going to be an infinity number of customers, it doesn't exist. But I'm just trying to show you the potential, because if you show your offer to enough people, enough of the right people, who's to say they're not all going to make a purchase? And Facebook's audience may as well be infinite, relative to the size of each individual business, you know. So obviously, how to target the right people. You're going to be showing this to Facebook's audience, but not everybody's going to be interested. You're able to target specific people that are most likely to buy your product. So Facebook's algorithms are very smart, but they won't make you a millionaire overnight either. If you have the patience, I recommend you start by trying not to target anyone and let Facebook find the right audience itself. The best sort of example that I can use here to help explain this to people is, let's take the shoes again, for example, running shoes. If you remember the last time you were shopping for them online, you probably went on to a different number of sites. You went on to JD, you went on to Nike looking for different shoes, and then sort of for days afterwards, all your ads on Facebook and Instagram would have been for the same pair of shoes. It's very intentional. Facebook is able to pick up on the activity that you have across different platforms, across different websites, and it takes this into account whenever it shows you your ads. So everybody's ads are personalized to themselves. This will work for anything. It'll work for energy drinks, it'll work for people looking for a new kitchen, whatever it may be. And then their ads will be personalized to those interests as well. So that's just the algorithms, but there is a certain setting called custom and lookalike audiences, which I'll explain here now below. So for the custom audiences, Facebook can take data on people from the given information source to create an audience. This information source can include page visitors, so that's your social media account visitors, people who visit your Facebook page and your Instagram page. Existing email lists, obviously if you work in a service-based business or product-based business, whatever, if people have to hand over their email just to make the purchase, you're going to have a list of people that you can input into Facebook, and it can build an audience with similar interests to those people, and it's able to pick this up whenever these people sign up to the platforms. When they sign up to Facebook and Instagram will take data on their buying habits, etc., so it knows the type of thing they're interested in, and then it'll show the ads to people with similar interests to the ones on your email list. When running campaigns using this audience, it'll start by showing your ads to people most similar. Yep, pretty much as I just explained. And that's before it shows them to anyone else. And then obviously it'll look to show it to a bigger audience afterwards as well. Lookalike audiences. This is very similar to the custom audience setting. Generally speaking, Facebook will take consumer data from a thing called a pixel instead of something like an email list or your page visitors. And a pixel is a small piece of code inserted into your website. This will track actions as well as data of the users. That's actions within the website. So if they click purchase, add to basket, certain pages they're visiting, etc. This way Facebook will know the type of people who are purchasing the product online and show it to others who have similar profiles or digital lookalikes, so to speak. And it'll show it to these people first, and then it'll show it to a wider audience. But if it picks up the data right and it shows it to the right type of people, you'd expect that these guys would make the most purchases straight away. Which one of these should you actually use? There isn't an exact answer. Advertising is not an exact science, and what works for one business isn't guaranteed to work for another. My personal recommendation is that you start with no targeting and allow the algorithm to decide. If this doesn't meet your standards, then you can start to integrate the targeting as well. So pretty much I'm suggesting that you just let the algorithm decide. Don't have any targeting for your audience and just run the ads as they are. If you have a large enough budget, however, and you're willing to lose money to gain it back quicker, then you can try all three at once and simply turn off the losing campaigns and keep the winners. So pretty much what I would say is set up your ads as you have them. You would have your creatives, the videos and photos, and you would set up 3 different campaigns. One campaign would be with no targeting whatsoever, one would be the lookalike audience, and one would be the custom audience. If there's no difference other than those 3 factors, you're going to get different results. Let's say the broad targeting with no custom or lookalike audience ad campaign gets the best results, then you're going to know that targeting works best for your ads, and so you would turn off the other 2 and keep that one on because it's getting the best results, obviously. And we know that that's the only factor, because if everything else is the same and the only thing is different is the audiences, then you know it's going to be that broad targeting is the best for you. Now, on to the actual ads. I'll actually just say there as well, obviously that's going to be more expensive. Don't compromise the budget for each campaign just so you can have 3 separate ones. You probably look to spend about £10 a day on each one, so that would be £30 a day. And then obviously if you just start with broad targeting instead of doing all 3 at once, you can look to trial it over time. How to structure your ads to have the biggest impact. Before I actually get started on this, and this is an absolute non-negotiable, you have to sell the outcome of your product or service and not the product or service itself. An example of why this is, take someone like EasyJet. They have a reputation for upbeat music by Jess Glynne specifically, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, colourful scenery and people having fun abroad in their ads. Why? Because if they sold their cramped planes with no legroom, crying kids and cheap microwave meals, nobody would buy from them. It's simple as, EasyJet are not a luxury airline, but at the same time, people love going on holiday, and the outcome of their service is that people get to go abroad. So they will sell the outcome, which is the upbeat music, colourful scenery, people having fun abroad, and not people on the plane. EasyJet, they don't sell holidays, they sell flights, but they're not advertising these flights, they're advertising the outcome. And so that's why it's so important to sell the outcome and not the product or service itself. Because if it is something like EasyJet, nobody's going to buy from you if you're sitting saying, oh, we'll give you the cheapest flights possible, cheapest service possible, just to get you where you want to go. Yeah, anyways, you'll see this throughout the video. It's my golden rule to sell the outcome and not the service. And it's a very common theme in my teaching. Just once again, sell the outcome, not the process, not the product or service. So, how to actually structure your ads to have the biggest impact, for real this time. People will buy things for one of two reasons. They either buy to alleviate pain, or they buy towards pleasure. And so the best way to get people to buy something is to help them realize the pains that they currently face in their business. And this doesn't mean hard sell, oh, look at your life, you need my service because you're missing this or whatever. You help them realize it themselves by asking the right questions, and that's going to be through your ads. Once you've done this, you can then pose yourself and your product as a solution to alleviate these pains. Obviously, I know I said about helping them realize themselves. I'll get on to that just in a wee second. Same goes for pleasure. Let's say your product is based around entertainment. By contrasting the pleasure that they can experience by purchasing your product or service with the mundane and boring experience they would have had if they went without it, you can help them see the true value in your product, which will further encourage them to buy. So you're selling the transformation, which is essentially the outcome. The outcome is going to be more pleasure, and you can contrast this to have a bigger impact. And when I say contrast, that's, say if you were to show footage of them not having bought it, they would be upset, they'd be bored, as opposed to contrasting it with the more pleasurable side of being entertained. Just an example to help you better understand is, imagine if you sell a meal prep delivery service. You want to initially focus on growing pains people generally face with preparing food. So this is what I say: pain, pleasure, show the two of them. You could start with an ad such as, are you tired of expensive, unhealthy fast food stores, long delivery times with Just Eat and Deliveroo, and don't have the time, knowledge or skill to make healthy meals that taste great and don't have you slaving away in the kitchen for hours on end? All of these are building pain in the viewer, and they're all very common themes for people who might be interested in this. People will buy meal prep and food delivery services because they don't have time, knowledge or skill to make healthy meals. If they are the type of person to look to buy out, they're going to have experienced these long delivery times, the expensive food and the unhealthy food, and these are all pains within the industry and things that they're going to look to get away from. So if you dig these pains initially, you can help them realize the situation that they're in on their own, and that's without a hard sell and without saying, hey, buy my stuff. You're helping them realize it on their own by showing them the pains essentially that they're already experiencing. So don't worry, because we have created our meal prep business to solve these problems for people just like you who still care about their health. This is sort of not so related to the pain and pleasure thing, but obviously that is just, it's having to go with their ego a bit. It's brushing their ego by saying, oh, we know you still care about your health. Our food tastes amazing, is very affordable, healthy and packed with essential nutrients, and delivered to your door every single week. These are all the pleasures of the product. It tastes amazing, it's affordable, it's healthy and packed with essential nutrients and delivered to your door. And bonus points if you're able to make a contrast between the pain and the pleasures. So obviously it's very affordable, contrasts with expensive, healthy and packed with essential nutrients, contrasts with, unhealthy. Delivered to your door is contrasting with slaving away in the kitchen. So bonus points if you're able to contrast the pains and the pleasures. But this specifically is a great example because it does both. It looks to alleviate common pains, and then if the product is actually good, it can bring pleasure to the consumer as well. I'm not saying everybody has to run a food delivery service, but you can take these principles and apply it to whatever it is that you're looking to advertise for as well. You'll know your business better than I will. By digging in pain and then contrasting that with pleasure, I'm selling the outcome. The outcome is having pain alleviated. You're not just looking to list off all the reasons that your product is great, because ultimately people don't want to be sold to. And that's why I say about asking the right questions to help them realize the pain on their own. You don't want to just sell them your product and list off all the reasons that they buy it. You help them realize what it is that they're missing out on by not making the decision to go with you. Just a quick PS on that. If you go to the Facebook ad library and watch Simmer Eats is a meal prep company in the UK, and they have great example ads. They were actually the inspiration for this example as well, so I'd highly recommend you have a look at them. Just another example, just if it wasn't clear enough, I'll skim through this a bit quicker. Let's take a completely different approach. Imagine you're selling a product, this time as opposed to a service. Just for an example, off the top of my head, I came up with a non-stick frying pan. I know who sells frying pans, but still, we can use this as an example. Once again, look to grow the pains and exaggerate the pleasure that they're going to get from purchasing. You can start off with a script such as, if you're looking to cook meals without making a huge mess in the kitchen, you might want to listen in. It's just a call out to the right type of person. We have created a no-hassle and stress-free approach to cooking. Gone are the days of burnt food, impossible to clean dishes, stress in the kitchen. Pains. Dig the pain and help them realize it themselves, because these are going to be very common themes for people who are frequently in the kitchen and frequently cooking. Our non-stick top-of-the-range frying pan has been expertly designed so that you can get back to making great food like you always used to. Once again, that's brushing their ego by saying they are a great cook, but at the same time, you are promoting the product by saying expertly designed, and then obviously you're saying about their great food as well. So if you're looking to bring more joy and harmony to your family home, you can start in the kitchen with cooking great and healthy dinners for your kids using our pan. So there you're selling the pleasures and the outcome, and that is healthy dinners, healthy kids, more joy and harmony in the family home as well. Or if you're looking to impress someone on a date night, you can fall in love with our pan and your romantic interest over a great dinner. That again is selling the outcome, selling the dream. You're not selling the pan, you're selling a better family life and a better dating life as well. Once again, dig on the pain and building the pleasure. Focus on selling the outcome, which is great food, a healthy family, and better romantic life, just like I say. So, now that you've got the basic principles of how to run ads, you need to focus on actually getting people to watch them. And that moves me on to engagement. The first 3 to 5 seconds of the ad are the most important. This is the hook. Everyone posting online is competing for the attention of viewers, and so you need to do something straight away at the start of your ad to catch their attention. Here are some ideas. First is labels. A word or group of words which viewers and customers can relate to, and an example would be Belfast cyclists, women over 55, photographers of NI. People will automatically identify with their local area, so start here. Obviously, if you are local or if you're an online business, whatever, this might be a bit different, but you'll know your target audience better than I will, so take this and apply it as you see fit. Yes questions. A question that, if answered with the word yes, qualifies your viewer. For example, are you struggling to control your dog? That would be for dog trainers. Are you looking to buy a car but don't have thousands up front? This would be for a car dealership who are offering finance or whatever. Once again, apply this to your own service. If-then statements. If the viewer meets the conditions in your statement, then they are qualified for the service or for the product. For example, if you want more free time and are stuck for ideas, or if you want to get in better shape, that one will be for personal trainers, then get in touch and I can help you out. And lastly would be ridiculous results. This sort of speaks for itself in the sense that it's not really a call out. It's not going to resonate with anybody, but if it is ridiculous, then people are obviously going to be interested. So things out of the ordinary catch people's attention. For example, here's how we made our client £50,000 in just 6 weeks and how you can do it too. Or I helped this person quit their job, move to the Bahamas, here's how. Simple. Obviously, the more creative the better. If you can include visual aspects that stand out also, then do that too. Pro tip, maybe you plan on filming 3 different ads. That's great, 3 will be fine. But for each one, film 5 different hooks as well. All of a sudden, you effectively have 15 different ads, and you can test all these out to see which has the best performance. Second, relatability. If someone was trying to sell you a heater, but the ad was filmed in the Sahara Desert, Would you buy from them? Take a second to think about that. No, of course you wouldn't buy from them. Why would you? You're not going to need a heater if you're in the Sahara Desert. So yeah, like I say, the answer is probably not. And so when making your ad, you want it to relate to the product or service, the customer, and the company as much as possible. For example, if you're a kitchen fitter, film your ad in a kitchen or a showroom. If you're selling running shoes, film in a gym or a scenic running route. Use athletes in bright running clothes to sell the dream. If you're advertising to your local area, use someone with a local accent. Make references or jokes that only locals would get. And if your brand has a mascot, you would use it. And the best examples that everybody's going to know are Tony the Tiger, Michelin Man. Everybody knows what that product's going to be straight away, and you don't even need any of these other factors to straight away make the ad stand out. All of these make it abundantly clear exactly what the ad is about. You don't want people confused as to the purpose of the video, just make it clear. Funniest part about this is as well, viewers won't even notice that you're doing this. They're not scrolling on their phone to analyse ads, however their subconscious will notice it, so make sure to incorporate it. Because essentially you'll be able to help them make the subconscious realisation of what the ad is, if you do this correctly. Pro tip, use footage or visually engaging elements to match the script of your ads. So this is kind of similar to what I've just said here. About relatability. It's about making them realise what the ad is for, and this is more subliminal stuff that'll help them realise exactly what it is that you're trying to convey, but they might not even notice it. It's more of a subconscious thing. Tip number 1, use footage or visually engaging elements to match the script of your ads. What do I mean by this? So we could take an example here. If you struggle to sleep at night, coupled with footage of someone tossing and turning in bed, it's how do I put this? It's coupling up the script with the footage of the ad. We know this costs you a lot of time, coupled with footage of a clock or a watch. I opened my own shop to resolve this, coupled with footage of you cutting the ribbon on a shop, or a local landmark being included whilst talking about an area. All of these things are just footage matching with the script, so it makes more sense, it ticks better in the customer's head. They won't realise this, but it will increase the effectiveness of your ads, guaranteed. Another one, use the right people to sell to the right audience. For example, if you're selling to women, have a woman film the ad. This is just about relatability again. They might not notice it, but subconsciously they will. If you're selling to desk workers, film in an office with someone wearing a shirt and a tie. You can also use influencers or people with an audience of their own who are in the same industry as yourself. And you can use them to promote the product or service. The viewers might not be inclined to watch your ad, but they'll certainly stop to listen to their favourite influencer. Obviously this will be dependent on what it is that you're selling, but if you have someone in mind, or if you can even take 5 minutes to brainstorm about someone that could maybe do this on your behalf, I'd highly advise you sort of have a look at it, if that's within your budget. So next we've got the call to action. If you have made it this far and you've managed to have your viewers watch your ad this far, then well done. You've done the hard work and managed to get viewers to watch your entire ad. But if you don't give them direction, that's all they'll ever be. They'll only be viewers. And we want to create customers. So just tell them what to do next. You might want them to visit a website, fill out a lead form, visit your landing page, or visit a checkout page to buy the product. This will be dependent again. So say if you're a restaurant or whatever, obviously you're going to want them to visit a booking page. But let's say, I don't know, you're an architect, you would obviously encourage someone to visit a website or to visit a landing page, because it's going to be a bit more of an in-detailed qualification process as opposed to a restaurant. With a restaurant, you just book in, show up, get your dinner, pay the bill, and that's everything. But it's a bit more in-depth with something like an architect. So take this and apply it to your own business and your own service. Whatever it is, however, just make sure it's easy, quick, comprehensive. And when I say comprehensive, I mean don't just say get in touch. That's not direct enough. You have to say click the link and send us a message on Facebook, or give me a call on WhatsApp and give a number or something like that. You can't just say get in touch. Just make sure it's direct. Yeah, you get the picture. And lastly, actually progresses the sale. You don't want to just say follow my page, because that's not going to progress this viewer into being a customer. It doesn't progress the sale. This is so easy to do, yet if you don't do it, your viewers could easily just think, oh, that was great, and then not proceed, simply because the next step wasn't made clear to them. So make sure that you're actually telling them what to do, or else they won't proceed to becoming customers. Another one is offers. People love to get a good deal. I'm sure your product or service is great, I'm not saying it's not. However, having a compelling offer can really grab people's attention. People love a bargain. You know yourself, if something's 10% off, you'll jump at it. And you'll see big companies do these all the time. It doesn't have to be huge either. An example could be get a free consultation. Let's say you work in you're a kitchen fitter, you can do a free consultation. Starting 80% off as a finance option. Obviously, I'm not saying to do an 80% reduction on your product. That would be ridiculous. 10% off when you refer a friend. Any unique selling points that you have as well. Get the job done by experts with 40 years of experience. Honest price guaranteed, etc. A really interesting example, actually, if any of you guys know Ben Heath, he's a bit of an advertising expert, shall we say. He was working alongside, I believe it was boiler replacements or boiler fitting, either or, and they were having real trouble with their ads. I think they were at about a three times return on ad spend, meaning that for every £1 they were getting in, they were getting £3 back. And they decided to run an offer of finance on boilers. It was starting at about £10 payment per week or something like that. And this is an industry that typically never experienced an offer like this, and they blew up. They had to put their ads on hold because they had too many customers, and they had to stop. They ended up with a 57 times ROAS. ROAS is return on ad spend, ROAS, which is absolutely mind blowing. And yeah, this isn't going to have as big of an effect as the previous steps, but if you're going to do a job, may as well do it properly. Now that you know everything about what to run, here's how to win with your ads. So, knowing this theory, and all this is all well and good, how do you implement this to actually achieve the best results that you possibly can? So, the first thing I covered today was audience. Who are you showing your ads to? And how to target the right people as well. We established there were 3 different audiences: broad targeting, which is no audience, no specifications; custom audiences; and lookalike audiences. I've specified this already, but just for the sake of rounding it up in one area, ideally you would run 3 separate campaigns with a different targeting option on each. One with broad targeting, one with the custom audiences, and one with the lookalike audiences. And you do this all at the exact time. The only different feature between all of these ads would be the audience. You don't change anything else. And you show it to different people and see who gets the best results. Whichever performs the best, keep this on. You've found your ideal audience. The reason I say don't change anything else is because you want to see what the limiting factor is. If you change all the ads within these different targeted ads, you're not going to know if it's the targeting or if it's the ads which is getting you the different results. So just make sure it's one at a time, one factor at a time. Start with your audiences, broad target and custom and lookalike, and you'll see which one's has the limiting factor. 2 is creatives. I've ran through different styles for ad creatives, with digging the pains, with showing the different visually engaging elements as well. Hopefully I've been able to give you some good inspiration. I recommend that you start with anywhere from 3 to 5. Not saying you can't use photos, but videos tend to do better. Run these all at the same time under the same ad set. This way you can see which one performs best. So this is after you've decided your audience. You want to start testing different creatives. After 3 to 7 days, see which one has the best analytics. This is assuming all 3 or 5 are running at the same time. Some of them will get better results than others. For the ones that do get good results, keep them on and turn off the rest. And if you feel like it, you can now start to try different hooks for the winning creative as well. Excuse me. After this, you can start to trial the offer or your call to action as well. Now that you have your ideal creative, you want to test your offer. I'm not saying you need to start running 20% off all your products, lose all your profit margins, and go into the red. It's not the case. You just need to give someone a reason to buy or a reason to purchase your product beyond what they already know they're going to get, and then tell them how. I've used an example here for quotes. If you're a kitchen fitter, obviously you'll be able to take a better example for yourself, and you'll know your own industry better than me. but you can start off with four different options: get an honest quote, get a reliable quote, expert quote, and completely free quote. There's going to be four different reasons that someone should sign up, and they should give you varying results. Try them all at the same time on the winning creative and the winning audience, which you've already decided, and see if there's a notable difference in results. Once again, turn off the losers and keep the best performing one. So they'll give back different results, and if the offer is the only factor that you're changing, you'll know which one is limiting the results and which one does better. Keep the ones that are good and turn off the ones that are bad, and once again, that's after 3 to 7 days. Another one is copywriting. I haven't discussed this so much because, in my opinion, unless you get it horribly wrong, it's not going to be a hugely limiting factor. But if you don't know, it's pretty much just the text around the ad, which is known as the caption. You can try different callouts through text to hook different people, and that's the same as the videos. So all the if-then statements, the ridiculous results, all of that, if you want to look back in the video, you can go and double check on that. Try long ones, short ones, include different keywords, so on and so forth. I'm not a copywriting expert and I won't pretend to be, but it's much easier to get inspiration and ideas for something like copywriting than it is to get it on anything else. So if you want to just go on YouTube or watch other people's ads and take inspiration from that, then that's perfectly fine as well. And lastly is going to be lead forms or landing pages. This is generally only going to be applicable for lead dependent businesses. I keep using the example of kitchens. I work in kitchens, doing lead generation for kitchens. So apologies if I'm a bit biased, but yeah, like I say, kitchen fitters, car detailers, consultant services, anything with leads. Facebook gives the option to promote a lead form on which you can input questions of your choosing, such as name, phone number, email, tell me about your inquiry. And this is just whenever they click on the ad, a form will pop up on the same platform and it'll have all these questions, and then they can submit their data, their user data to you, so you can get in touch. Generally speaking, lead forms are easier to fill out, but if you find your leads are not qualified, you can add more questions, or you can redirect them to a landing page. A landing page is just going to be a separate page outside of the app of Facebook, and it serves the same purpose as a lead form, but generally speaking, whenever you redirect someone to a landing page, this is going to decrease the retention and decrease the lead numbers, but at the same time, if someone is actually serious, they're going to wait that extra 1 second for it to load, and so the effect that you'll have here is that you'll increase your lead quality, but you'll probably decrease the numbers. But realistically, we're going for conversions and not just lead numbers. We're going for qualified leads, so that's something you can try as well. So that is everything you need to know about running your ads. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can fire them away, but you want to start with testing your audience, testing the creatives, testing the offer, copywriting, and then lead forms. The better creativity that you have, the better results you're going to get. But if you're not a very creative person, just take some basics that you've learned from other people, implement it in the way that I've just shown, and you should be able to develop some sort of reliable system to bring in some new leads, new customers for your business. But just some closing advice, a couple of tips for anybody who has made it this far. Facebook advertising is still relatively new, and so for many it's unfamiliar. People tend to stray away from unfamiliarity just because Facebook advertising has become more saturated. People make it out to be difficult. There's nothing that can't be overcome with an hour of focused effort. Just because this is on social media and maybe you're not so familiar with the platform, it doesn't mean that you can't overcome it yourself. There's no problem that you can't solve by simply just going on YouTube and saying how to, and then insert your problem, because it will give you an answer. There's so much information out there available, and that goes for everything, not just Facebook advertising. Another one is watch other people's ads, TV ads, YouTube ads, other ads on Instagram. Generally speaking, I used to hate ads whenever they came up on TV, they came up on the radio, but whenever you change your mindset, as in this is going to be a learning opportunity now, you learn to look forward to them. You can take inspiration from other people, see how they hook, see how they engage, look at the type of footage that they use to match with their script. Look to see how they implement all the things that I've discussed today, and you'll start to notice patterns, and you'll see how people can do it in smarter ways than others as well. A great place to see ads is the Facebook ad library. Look this up on Google, but you can look at other people's ads, other people who are advertising already, and see what they're doing as it stands if you go on here, and you can get great inspiration from there as well. Another tip, memes and trends will perform very well. If people have seen similar videos or memes in a comedic setting, they'll be more inclined to watch your ad because it's funny. This leads me on to my next point. No, that's a typo on my end, apologies guys. But yeah, the whole point with this is that if it's funny, people are going to watch it. And the best example is Ryanair. Ryanair's TikTok, they absolutely blew up in 2020, 2021, whenever they hired a new admin for their TikTok. Nobody likes Ryanair because they're cheap. It's the same as the EasyJet thing. Their flights are cramped and they have a poor product. They compromise on everything for price, but by improving their public image, by improving their branding, by posting funny videos, they completely revolutionized the game pretty much, and they changed a lot of people's opinions. People were going around saying, "Oh, Ryanair's actually okay now," despite the fact that everybody knows it's cheap. This is going to be a bit more difficult to incorporate, but if you can include any memes or any funny elements to your videos, then go for it. And this is what I was going to say. This leads me on to my next point, which is that the best ads are the ones you don't even realise are ads. If you're able to effectively incorporate storytelling, relatability, the correct engaging elements, or memes, like I said in the previous point, the viewer will watch regardless, and that's whether or not they're in the target audience. They'll get great engagement, and even if they're not in the target audience, they might still be able to make use of your service or product, and they could end up purchasing anyway if they end up watching the whole ad. And that is assuming if you get the ad correctly done. If you're able to engage them and encourage them to buy in the right way, regardless of whether they're in your target audience, they might make the purchase regardless. Another one, copy your competitors for now. This is a bit controversial, but if someone's generating results already, that's proof of concept. We know it works. Use the proven strategy first, and later on when you're more confident, start to engage more outlandish techniques and your own originality whenever you've got proof of concept. And lastly, aiming to build a brand will benefit your business more in the long run. Yes, ads might give you short-term direct ROI, but if you want those longer-term real results, focus on a more holistic approach and a well-developed social media account. Familiar faces, common themes within videos, etc., etc. This is a bit more of a broad take on it. Pretty much, don't think of this as being a direct investment of, I'll pay this much to get this many leads. Say you'll pay 500 to get 5 leads. That's not the case. Think of this as a wider marketing approach. You want to best optimize your profile so that your ads work as best as they can, as well as produce the best content to run for your ads in the first place. Make the investment to get the good content. Make the investment to get the good content for your account as well, for your profile, so that whenever people do see your ads and they do see your account, they think, oh, these guys are actually taking it serious and they really do have a presence online. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I'll just sort of quickly summarize. I can do that just here with the how to win section. First of all, start with your audience. Get the audience nailed down by testing the different things, the different forms. Then you go on to test your creatives. I would actually say that this is open to interpretation. You can test creatives or audience first, whichever you fancy. Run different ones, see which one works, turn off the losers, excuse me, and then you can start to try different hooks. And try that for 3 to 7 days. Then you can try your offer, which is just the reason to get someone to buy, an incentive. 3 to 7 days again. Then start with the copywriting, which is the caption. And then finally your lead form or landing page to improve your lead quality. But I hope that for anybody who wasn't familiar with ads, you've been able to learn something today. I hope that there's been some actionable steps in here that you're able to now start incorporating into your business. I'm still at the early stages myself, you know, but at the same time, there's nothing that you, like I say, you can't overcome with an hour of focused effort. So get your thinking caps on, start getting creative. Try and apply this to your own situation and do things that'll work for you in your situation or your business. and see how this goes. If you have any questions about any of that, or you would like some advice or some help, then you can let me know. I'm not trying to sell you anything today at all, don't worry. This is just about trying to help you guys get started in your own business. And like I say, if you need any help with any of that, just let me know. I'll always be free. Send me over a quick message and we can hopefully get that sorted. But thanks very much for watching, guys. Cheers.